All right, Pod. You might wonder why I'm sitting in this seat this time. We have our first ever special guest, who usually doesn't need an introduction, but I think he does, so I whipped something up. Robert Ford, Aaron Burr, Darth Vader, Scar, Lando Calrissian, Fredo Corleone, Henry Hill, Roddy Gale, Terrell Owens, Bob Irsay, Marion Hossa, Roger Clemens, Nick Saban, Karl Malone, Benedict Arnold. You know what all these guys have in common? They had so many people behind them. They had loyalty. They had faith. They had everything. And what did they do? They became fucking traitors. Without further ado, we give you Brendan Lunga.
Yeah, Lunga.
I'm not clapping for you, traitor.
Oh, this dude's coming on with the old Canada. The old Canada.
Boys, how are we doing? Oh, Canada.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Just listen.
Oh, my gosh. Look at him with the old Canada.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh.
Isn't that
Jake's trying
beautiful?
to kill himself.
Isn't that beautiful, man?
We're 16 floors up. It is quite a drop down. Well, welcome back, everyone. TalkBall Tweakers, episode 9. This is one of your hosts, Jake Mazarski, joined by Blake McQuarrie and Toussaint Fancher, as always. Special guest, Brendan Lunga, or Benedict Arnold, whatever you want to call him. Let's talk ball.
So, first, before we get into talking ball, a little background information here. Lunga actually bet on Canada to win.
Tell him how much.
$50. A big one.
Bet $50 for Canada to beat USA, and they did it in overtime. Broke Jake's heart.
And to be clear, I've never
The only one.
stepped foot once in the land of Canada. I mean, as far as I know, it could not exist. It could be a magical land. But
Be the 52nd state.
I felt the energy from Will McLernan today, and leading up to this game.
Our residential Canadian.
A residential Canadian. And honestly, Jake was just pissing me off, as he does. And so I said, I'm going to bet on him. And you know what? I was a lot happier at the end of the day than this man was.
But 50 for 50 is
50 to win 54, and the worst part was I owed my friend $50 for betting on the Chiefs during the Super Bowl. So really I only won $4.
Get out.
But, you know, you win some, you lose some.
Nah. You know, it is
Pod.
what it is.
I don't even know where to
There's a
start.
lot of people that lost that night, and Lunga, you were not one of them. So.
I wasn't one of them. This
You
guy
know?
is not a patriot. You will never find me or anyone bet against their country in one of the biggest hockey games ever. I know we're not a hockey podcast, but I'm a hockey guy. Oh, God. You're a snake.
Justin Trudeau, in you we believe.
Anyway, Pod, we're not going to talk too much about that game because there's no need to. Check out Mazarski Memos for a full thing on that because these guys aren't the biggest hockey people. But my one sentence there was just that was freaking heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But I'll throw it over to Blake and Toussaint and we'll get started with the real thing.
So yeah, obviously we got to start last night. Luka against his former team, Dallas Mavericks. Lakers get a dub, 107-99. I mean, just thoughts on the game overall.
Nico Harrison, you won the trade. Luka's starting to find his mojo. Everybody knew this was going to happen. He didn't play for 2 months before this, limited minutes, and now he's not on limited minutes. I think that was game 3. His best shot was definitely the deep 3 when he stared down the Mavs bench, and I'll leave it at that because he absolutely feels betrayed.
Oh,
Absolutely,
yeah. 100%. Toussaint.
I was just gonna say it was a really good game. The thing that struck me about the game, not even just about Luka, because obviously Luka is Luka dropping a triple double. I thought he was gonna drop 30-point triple double, but he dropped 19, so whatever. The Lakers really swallowed the whistle in that game. I don't know if y'all saw that, but they were just letting them play, and I actually enjoyed it. I told you guys, Lungan, maybe you know, my one rule if I was commissioner would be to change the officiating. I liked what they had yesterday. It was they weren't calling the tit for tat fouls. They weren't giving them easy trips to the line, but it made it hard. And so the Lakers, they locked in down the stretch. The GOAT, 40 years old, still doing it at a high level. Takeover, 16 in the fourth. I mean, just it was the play where they were giving the ball back to each other. Luka and Bron just shows us how good they are. Yeah, I mean, everyone pretty much saw just how dangerous the Lakers can be in the playoffs.
Yeah. Lunga, did you watch the game?
I watched a little bit of it. I think the most interesting part about it was, yes, Luka got that triple-double, but as we were talking about, he didn't hit that 20 points. And because, Julius Caesar had to earn his wager last night.
You know what you have in common with Julius Caesar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Later, too.
And you know what? Shout out Julius Caesar. He earned his paycheck.
He sure did.
He also got stabbed in the neck, but anyway, continue.
Anyway.
Now he's stabbing us in the neck.
But I don't. There might have been maybe 2 people on the Luka Doncic under last night, and those 2 people had a great day. Under points.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what, I took the over. Actually took him 30 plus. So I think I realized it about midway third quarter. I said,
He just stopped shooting.
I said, I think I'm cooked. I think I'm cooked. Honestly, I blame Jason Kidd at the end of the day. Didn't make it fun for anybody. Just wanted to double team him the whole night. Yeah. So, Jason Kidd, fuck you.
I swore, guys.
Elmer Fudd. That Elmer Fudd looking.
Dude, yeah, like I just made a donation last night to
I swore he was going to take
FanDuel.com.
20 shots.
So Mr. Caesar made a lot of money last night. But no, overall
Should have
though,
done the PTR. I thought about it.
I did the PTR. I think that a few things. One, I agree. Didn't make it fun because Luka should have taken at least 30 shots and he only took 17.
oh my gosh.
That'll change when the Lakers march into Dallas and stuff. It'll be interesting if AD plays in that game. I think from a sports standpoint, even though Luka Doncic is the best basketball player on this team, it's going to be LeBron James' team. And so for Luka, it's just like molding into that role and stuff. And like, I don't want to call him a second option because the Lakers will never say that, nor will they do that.
1A, 1B.
1A, 1B.
Yeah.
Bron's Bron. Bron's going to get his shots. LeBron, again, he's age 40 and he's still one of the best players on the planet and stuff. You know what Luka and Bron remind me of? It reminds me of Bron and Steph in the Olympics when they do the pick and roll. Steph would give Bron the ball, get double teamed or something, and then Steph would be open. Like, it happened. Serbia couldn't stop it.
What
France
KD
couldn't
said?
stop it.
What KD
Yeah,
said?
what KD said, what chemistry are you going to do when you got to guard Steph?
Yeah.
And that's why right now I'll go on record saying if the Lakers are playing the Thunder, I sort of like the Lakers right now. It's a hot take, and I got to do a bit more research.
We talked about that last episode.
did.
There's, I think, 2 episodes ago.
Like, how do you guard these guys? Yeah. And then, by the way, they have Austin Reeves, too. And Austin Reeves had 20 last night. He's a very good scorer, too.
Yeah.
Has his defense been getting better, like JJ Redick said? No, not really. He's trying. Good
Actually, they have been getting better.
Yeah.
From a statistic measure, they've been the 3rd best defensive team since acquiring Luka.
Yeah.
Like statistically, which is wild.
Crazy because Luka's
crazy.
built like a freaking.
I mean, they were bottom 3 before they had him with AD, and now they're a top 3. And I think it's because they see like offensively they're set. So all they have to do is give effort on defense. I mean, JJ Redick said it last night. He said Bron is playing at an all NBA defensive level right now, like right in this moment.
He might get defensive team.
Yeah, he might. No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
No, he might. I mean, this is the first time I've seen him in a couple years like sit down on defenders, like actually try on defense.
One more thing I wanted to add. If you were about to talk, I apologize.
No, you're good.
Being in that building yesterday, or just in the past few weeks, do you think AD is mad that he got traded? I think you got to understand it. For Luka Doncic, do you guys think that? Like,
No,
I was
I
having
don't
this
think he's
conversation with
mad.
my friend. I think he's
if
just
they
like,
meet in the playoffs, he's gonna show.
I don't think he's mad. I mean, he's
But
dropping
also,
40.
AD verbally was saying, we need another big. I don't want to play the 5. And now he gets to play the 4 in Dallas and live in a place that doesn't have state taxes.
It's true.
And so, like,
Yeah,
he got traded for one of the best players of the generation. Like,
I don't think he's mad at all.
And now he's not the face of the franchise, but he's supposed to be the head guy. Like Nico Harrison traded for him to make him the guy.
Exactly.
If you've seen his demeanor so far since he's gotten to Dallas, it doesn't sense me that he's pissed off or anything at all.
Except when he's not in the hospital, of course. AD ambulance driver. Will he ever see the court as a Dallas Maverick? That is the biggest question I think we should all be asking.
That's a great question, actually. He might only play like a handful
we've seen
of games.
15 minutes, and then the whatever.
Yeah,
the
he said,
fucking-
"I'm here,"
whatever,
and then got hurt.
Whatever injury he got, I don't even know.
You almost-
Abdominal.
introducing himself to the training staff. I'm here.
You almost got to feel bad for Nico Harrison. I mean,
I don't.
It could not have gone any
That's
worse.
like walking up to
Oh,
somebody, shooting
no,
them,
it
and then
got
being like,
so
"Man,
much
I'm going to
worse.
prison for the rest of my life."
I mean, can we got a 20 minutes out of Anthony Davis before he got hurt?
That's it.
Is that too much to
Anybody in their
ask?
right mind
That's
could have
like
guessed
a
that was going to
stretch.
happen.
That's like a stretch,
He's
too.
hurt all the time, and for every year in his NBA career, he's dealt with injuries. Luka, yeah, sure, he's hurt. Yeah, he's fat. By the way, if someone says to you that Luka's fat is an argument that Luka's not good, they're wrong. Dude,
Yeah.
Shout out Zion.
how in the world? I said this a few episodes
you know
ago.
about the Nola burger.
Oh yeah.
How
Me
do you
and Lunga
tr-
know about that Nola food.
How the frick?
Don't blame Zion at all.
How do you trade this
Don't
guy?
blame
dude?
Zion at all.
All right,
But yeah, I don't think AD's mad. It's gonna be interesting though to see them match up again. I don't know. It's like what in mid-March or end of March, something like that, or is it April? Does it stretch to April?
I'll check.
I really do hope AD's back because then like that. I mean, it was a great game last night, but
I mean, if
With
healthy, the
AD.
Mavericks are a top 5 team in the West.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be interesting to see how they match up with AD there. I think AD would absolutely. I think AD would have ate last night.
Especially because they don't have a big. You're right.
Yeah, they don't have
Yeah.
a big, so it's like, what is it? What is Jackson Hayes gonna
Jackson
guard
Hayes,
AD? Like,
yeah.
come on, come on.
Jared Vanderbilt sometimes.
Now Vanderbilt would actually
like that.
sit. I'm not gonna lie.
Do what Darvin Ham
would
said. Put Rui Hachimura on them.
Yeah.
That'll stop him.
Put Darvin Ham on.
That'll do it.
But quickly, salute. Quickly before we move on to Jimmy and the Warriors, I want to go back to the point. I think you had brought it up of like this is the best defense they've been playing, and it's since they acquired Luka, which is insane. They held Jokic to 12 points a couple nights ago against in Denver. If they do that,
It's not
throughout
happening
the rest
in
of
the
the
playoffs.
no, if they do that, I mean, who's to say it's not going to happen in the playoffs?
I mean, Jokic is going to Jokic.
No, I'm not saying against Denver. I'm saying if they play defense like they have been right now, if they keep this
Well, yeah, because
defensive presence up,
I think it's really because with AD, you were
it's going to
like,
be nasty in the playoffs.
with AD, it was like Bron is our offensive guy, Reeves is our third, and then you're getting 50% of AD. You're really only getting 50% because he's giving you 50 offense, 50 defense. And now it's like, well, you know Luka's not playing no type of defense. So all you have to do is do a little offense because you know you're getting 3 scores every night. 20 from Reeves, 25 and 20, and Luka didn't have 25 last night, but you know he's giving you something that's valuable.
7 games.
Yeah, and then on the defensive side, all you have to do is just rotate, and they were playing defense they were playing tough defense last night. So if they stick with it, I know they tried to pick up Alex. They're gonna be rotating. I just don't understand how the Anthony Davis trade went through, but the Mark Williams didn't. That always baffled me because AD's always hurt. Like, how could you not see a physical and be like, he hurt something 3 weeks ago. Let's go trade for him.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Lakers sitting at 4th in the West, 2 games behind second seed. So it's gonna be interesting to see where they go. Jimmy and the Warriors. Let's move on. I mean, geez, I didn't think this trade was going to work out like it has been, but
I mean, this is what happens.
Golden State looks nice.
But this is what happens with Jimmy every single time he gets traded. He forces his way out, then he goes to a new team, and it's like when you get your job for the first 3 weeks and everything's nice and dandy, and then after about a year, you start realizing everyone's kind of a jerk, and then you're like, wait a minute, like I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. Now, the thing about Jimmy, he's what, 36, 37? He's in late 30s. Yeah. So by the time his contract is done, he'll be at retirement age. Yeah, he'll be around retirement age. The thing about him, though, like I said, he sours on people after like couple of years. He's great in the first couple of years, can accentuate your team, make you better, be the face of your organization for a few years. But somewhere down the line, Draymond's going to get mad at him, and it's going to be an issue.
It's definitely going to be a short honeymoon. And the question is, can the Warriors get it all together, both this year, maybe next year? But you can't see this working out much longer than past 2026.
Yeah.
So you got to get it going.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, they gave him a 2-year contract extension.
Yeah,
they've got to get a
2
run
years,
this year.
161. It's also like the first time in a while that Jimmy's not the best player on his team.
True.
Like throughout his entire time in Miami, he was the number 1. throughout his half a season in Philly. You could say Embiid, sure, but Jimmy had a good year there. The Timberwolves, he was obviously the number 1. The Bulls, he was the number 1. Now it's Steph. And also, like, Jimmy, good luck getting more shots from Steph, because Steph's Steph, and an entire generation is going to hate you if you say one bad word about him, too.
Here's my thing is what I'm confused with Jimmy is like, okay, like, are you getting pissed off all these times because you want to be the man, or is it like, do you just want to play? Do you want to be in a nice place and play quality winning basketball? Like
he was just on the Heat and he wanted to dip.
Yeah, that's the other
he's getting
thing.
paid $50 million to hoop in South Beach.
He says he wants to win, but he only wants to win if he is contributing as their best option. And that's why he doesn't have a ring.
So, like,
and that's why he comes up short.
His teams aren't always the greatest.
My thing is like, how is he not the best option in Miami?
He was
the best option.
He was.
Like,
who said he wasn't?
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm questioning Jimmy.
Oh no,
I just don't understand Jimmy.
Well, okay,
like, I don't think Jimmy Butler. I don't think Jimmy Butler is one of the best offensive players in the league, and I think in the NBA right now you need to have one of the best offensive players in the league in order to win a championship. Jokic, Tatum and Jaylen Brown, sure, but they're both really good in their own ways. I'm not going to put them on that same pedestal. Bron, 2019, Kawhi, all these guys can score on their own and also add something on the other end of the floor. Jimmy is really good offensively. When it's the playoffs, it's his time, except for last year in Boston when you lost in 5. But it's cool. He's just not good enough to be a number 1 option anymore, especially at this age. I just don't think so.
I think it's the Jordan effect, not the Jordan effect, but the Jordan mindset. where it's like. Yeah, I think it's the Jordan mindset where it's like, if I'm the best player here and I'm giving 100%, why are you not giving 100%? Because you remember his time in Philly, he got on Embiid and he got on Simmons, and guess what happened? Embiid's been hurt since, and Simmons is in LA now. You look at the Timberwolves. They had Cat. Cat was soft at the time. Cat has grown up now, but Cat was a little soft. His time in Chicago. I mean, in Chicago, guys weren't comparable to him. Everywhere he's been, people haven't lived up to his expectations, and that's what I think it is. You look at Miami, he's the man in Miami, and he brought them to 2 finals, but I think the Miami situation is different than the other situations, because I think the Pat Riley took it to him and he was like, I don't like that, so I'm gonna leave.
Yeah. And like that is where I'm questioning Jimmy at the end of the day, is like, okay, is this gonna be a thing? Well, we know it's a thing, but it's like, yeah, okay, Golden State's going very well right now, but like, what happens if Steve Kerr's just like, oh, Jimmy, you're not.
Well, he can't say anything.
Jimmy, simmer down.
He can't. Well, okay, here's the thing. Because you have Steph, who's obviously the face of that franchise. Then you got Draymond. Draymond's the one who's going to say something to him. Steph's not going to say anything to him. Steph's just going to be quiet and get his buckets.
Yeah.
Draymond's going to be the one to step up to him and say, hey, why are you doing this? Or because, he stepped up to Kevin Durant, and nobody steps up to Kevin Durant like that. So at some point, something's going to happen.
The thing with Jimmy is that, he's, kind of a diva, but, like, he's usually made the moves that have been the best for his career. Like, he's, like you were saying, he's never really been wrong with his assessments and where he's gone. So, I mean, I can't see this but working out for the Warriors. I don't know. Again, I don't know how long, but, like, for this year, I can't see how this doesn't work out because, I mean, he has a proven track record of knowing what's best for him in his career.
In Philly was his best option. Team.
I think this year it works 100%. Like, that was going to be my next question.
What do you mean? What does works mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, my next question was going to be, like, where do you guys see them in the playoffs and postseason?
I still see them as the 5th or 6th best team in the West. I think the Thunder are better. I think the Nuggets are better. I think the Lakers are better. I think the Grizzlies are better. I think you could argue the Houston Rockets are better. They're deeper, and I'm not going to say better coaching because Steve Kerr, don't get me wrong, but what Ime is doing in Houston, I think I'm looking at the West standings right now. I think the Warriors will get to that 6th line and stuff because I think they're just talented enough. I think Steph's going to find his game. Jimmy's only going to get more comfortable. I think they'll pass the Clippers and T-Wolves. But then, like, even if they get to the second round, like, they're going to have to play the Lakers, the Nuggets, or the Thunder. They still don't have a big that could stop Jokic, the Thunder.
No one on that team is stopping Bron.
I was going to say, those are
stopping Bron or Luka.
Those are the 3 teams that I don't think that Golden State
they'll win a first round.
can compete with in the postseason.
It will be really cool to see Steph and Jimmy in the playoffs because, like, look, as much as Jimmy Butler slander I've been giving, him in the playoffs is so much fun to watch and stuff, and he just gets into his bag and stuff.
Absolutely.
No, I still think the Warriors just aren't as good as those top three. I think there's a definite top three in the West right now, and I think it's the Thunder, the Nuggets, and the Lakers. And so if you're not those three, I don't think you're a title contender right now. But hey, what do I know? They should have gotten KD too. I'm mad that KD blocked it because a KD Steph reunion would have been sick.
It would have. It definitely would have. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm excited to see what they do in the postseason, though.
Wemby's gone. Wemby's done for the year.
Did we talk about the Wemby stuff or
no? We have not yet.
Well, we can get into Wemby.
Deep vein thrombosis.
Deep vein.
That's a technical term.
That's an Anthony Davis type injury.
That's
yeah.
Yeah, no, that is definitely an AD injury right there.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't want to steal the floor or run the show.
But no,
here,
seriously though, it is a blood clot. So like, it's
Please be
not
okay.
funny. It's not funny. Like, please, I literally send my prayers to Wemby and I pray that he is okay. But deep vein thrombosis. Why haven't we ever heard of that terminology? I guess we're not doctors, but
no,
like,
they said that's the same thing that
Chris Bosh
had. So it's been a while.
deep vein thrombosis, or he just had blood clots?
No, he had deep vein thrombosis.
Because I think it's in Wemby's like shoulder or something.
Yeah,
like
he had
that.
specifically deep vein thrombosis.
He's supposed to make a full
interesting.
recovery.
No, he will. They were talking about it on Windhorse actually had a good
6 months and he'll be
segment
back.
on it and on ESPN the day that it happened. And
how do you even discover that a blood clot?
There's got to be some. I'm not a doctor.
Doctors.
Go to webmd.com.
Doctors.
TalkBall tweakers are not medical doctors.
Yeah. Disclaimer. We are not doctors. No, Windhorse was talking about it. I mean, it's not like common with NBA players, but it's happened before, and players have made a comeback from it.
It says next pain,
What are you
swelling,
laughing
and
about
skin
over there, Jake?
discoloration.
I'm just thinking of all of us just sitting here in like fucking lab coats one time and just trying to like do prognoses and stuff. We are not like that. Like,
Let's get some stethoscopes and
dude.
According to WebMD,
AD.
Wemby should be back on the court within 1 month.
And we get on here, we're like, AD, the injury was fake.
Dude, the closest I'll get to medicine is my roommate studying for the MCAT, and my sister wanted to go to med school. I'm like Dr. Doofenshmirtz, bro. I got my evil schemes and stuff.
Right.
I have an enemy. I have some enemies. I don't know if they're platypuses or platypi, but we might cut this part.
We're not cutting nothing.
We're not cutting shit.
Podcast is
We're
wrong.
not cutting shit.
I think Doofenshmirtz might have a more valid PhD than Jake Bizarski does. Let's be clear.
he probably does. Yeah. My enemy is Brendan Lunga right now.
No, in all seriousness though, it's just it sucks that it happened like right now because the Spurs were so exciting. And I think with them being in like that play-in position, I think obviously they were going to get into the playoffs. I don't think if they got into the play-in they were going to lose.
And they just got Fox.
That's why I'm saying that though, is because with Fox, like Wemby, Fox, Stephon Castle's playing out of his mind as a rookie. Rookie of the year, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it just sucks because Spurs were going to be exciting to watch postseason, 100%, and now that might be taken away from us. Just
Now we get 30 minutes of Chris Paul again.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, you saw Trey Murphy, or who was it?
Yeah,
Was it Trey Murphy?
It was Trey Murphy.
No, Chris, no.
And also, like, yeah,
Sounds like Cat.
Wemby was going to be a lock to win Defensive Player of the Year. Like, he's on that trajectory. These injuries suck,
Nick
dude.
Young's imitation.
Yes,
of
I saw
Cat.
Nick Young's
Nick Young's imitation of
we're gonna
Cat.
go for 2.
Yeah, we're gonna go for 2.
SEC.
SEC.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh!
Speaking of, dude, can we just hop to the East for 1 second and we'll talk more NBA? The Knicks cannot beat a good team. They can't.
The Knicks.
They can't beat a good team.
Okay, so
to save their life.
and they don't only get beat; they get killed.
so I was watching.
0-7.
I was watching post game last night, TNT, and Candace Parker made the comment of, "Why do we act like that? The West is so wide open and the East isn't." And I fully disagreed with it because
Yeah, I know what
it's what Boston and Cleveland, and that's it. I mean, I was actually like literally talking to myself in the mirror after she said that because I was like, "There's no way." Well, I was
just because they're too
doing
dominant.
my skincare last night.
It's just because they're dominant and the other teams are like
after Lakers lose. What do you want to say over there, Lunga?
That's an image none of us needed to see, but thank you so much for that.
He's doing a face mask. He's like,
trying
what
to
about
give
the
you
Pistons?
guys.
What about the Pistons? They can win it all.
I'm trying to give you guys
This
picture.
episode is
Tear
so
coming out.
unhinged.
I'm trying to give you guys the picture.
Blake washing his face.
Well, a man can't wash his damn face. Is that what we're talking about now?
Would you use special scrub soap?
What the like? Y'all, what?
Wait, guys, Blake has to leave the pod early. He has a mani-pedi at 2.
I can't. I
You
can't
gonna put
get
your
a
pimple
Got any
patches on
product
your
cleanser?
recommendations for us?
I can't get a
star-shaped pimple patches.
Oh, what? Men can't do damn cleanser nowadays. Is that what we've come to in this world?
This part of the segment will be going off record.
Is this what we've come to in this world?
Sponsored by Sarah V.
You're gonna put your L'Oreal on next.
I can't put my damn Glow deep rice serum on.
Some Victoria's Secret after.
Y'all don't know shit about that beef towel moisturizer.
If I'm getting serious here, I fully agree with you. I think what Candace Parker said is not the best thing, and she's a great analyst. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, let me rephrase. She's all right. The West is much more wide open than the East. I see teams in the West that I go, maybe they could win 1 or 2 playoff series. I think the Warriors have the capacity to, even though I didn't. I think the Timberwolves have the capacity to. If you look at the East, I think the teams that could beat a Boston or Cleveland is the Knicks, and they just haven't. Maybe the Bucks because they have Giannis, but those are inferior teams and stuff. Like, the one thing I'll say about the Knicks, I still think their starting 5's top 3 in the league. I mean, where else are you finding a top 5 point guard, a heart and soul guy like Josh Hart, 2 really, really good 3-and-D wings in Bridges and Anunoby, and one of the best bigs in the league in Cat, but they just haven't proved it. And so, like, there's no one else besides maybe the Washington Wizards that I see in the East.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you look
Nobody
at the top.
got that, damn it.
You look at the top 2 teams in the East, and they're just dominant over everyone else in the East. And then you look at the West, and you got the Grizzlies at the 2 seed. I couldn't believe the Grizzlies were the 2 seed. I didn't know they were the 2 seed until last night. I have not checked the standings.
Yeah, Memphis is looking really
Memphis
good.
is like that every year, though.
I know
Every
they
year,
lose in the
they're
first or
top-
second round to LeBron or the Nuggets or somebody.
They lost to my glorious king.
They're looking really good.
When was the last time the Eastern Conference was a more competitive conference than the Western Conference?
I think
I mean,
It's been since
Dang.
Bron was in the Heat,
I
probably.
think Bronze. Yeah,
really,
Like early 2010s.
I'd argue
Ever.
2017 or 2018 when it was Bron's last years in Cleveland, like when he beat Tatum and then in Game 7. Because the West, everybody knew it was going to be the Warriors. And what was the year that the Warriors literally
could
went like
see that.
16-1 in the playoffs? Because that year the East was better than the West. That's the one I'd argue.
yeah, I could see that.
I think it's
you're right.
early
You're
2010s.
totally right.
To me, I think it's early 2010s because then that's when they had who they have? They had
Who, the Celtics?
no, just the East in general.
Oh, well,
'Cause-
they had the Celtics.
Yeah, they
with,
had
like,
the
Paul
Celtics.
Pierce, Kevin Garnett,
Yeah,
the Pacers.
Paul
with
George was good with the Pacers. Yeah, I mean they had
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, back to your point with the Knicks, that was literally the one team that I said maybe the Knicks, but it's literally wide. Like it's not wide open.
Not
Like
even close.
it's 2 teams, and that's really it. Like that's all I can see.
The NBA is the one league out of the 4 too where it's never wide open.
Yeah.
It's never wide open because the more talented team is always going to win in a 7-game series. You can't say that in hockey because the team could have a better goalie and he'll save you. You can't say that in football because it's 1 game and a guy could have the fucking flu. And in baseball, all you need is a hot hitter or a hot pitcher. In the NBA, if your roster is talented, you are going to win the series 99 times out of 100. Give me one time where the NBA champion, you didn't go, that's a top 3 roster in the league. You can't.
Yeah. No. 100%.
I mean, you can get to the finals with a not top 3.
You could,
Yeah.
but you
yeah,
can't
but
win it.
At the end of the
Can't
day,
win
you're
it.
not
And
going to
usually,
win.
if you don't have a top 3 roster, you have at least a top 5 player. Like,
Or is
you're talking
playing like
about
a top-
Bron with Matthew Dellavedova and stuff.
Or if you're
Yeah.
talking like
All the
Jimmy
way.
Butler with the Heat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you have a player go absolute sicko mode or something,
Yeah.
like that's a totally understandable thing. But to call it wide open, no. Anyway, I'm gonna what's it called? Put on a muzzle for a second.
And also, no disrespect to the Cavs, but like, who's realistically taking the Cavs to come out of the Eastern Conference over the Celtics? Like,
Yeah,
I
no.
mean,
in
I
a
feel like
7-game
there's levels
series,
to this
no,
shit.
I'm not doing it. I just can't do it.
Everyone's taking the Celtics until we see.
I will give Cleveland some props though because I don't think like I don't. It's hard to word this. Like I don't want to play Cleveland, but it's like if I was Boston or somebody, like I wouldn't want to play Cleveland. But like,
I wouldn't be scared of him.
yeah, that's the thing though. Like, I wouldn't be. It's hard for me. Like it might not make sense, but it's like I wouldn't want to play them, but I wouldn't be scared.
I wouldn't be fearful of him.
Especially
No.
when Boston beat them in 5 games last.
Yeah, like I don't know.
No, they've been at this point where they had good young talent for a while, and they just haven't gotten over the hump. So no one's really scared of them. They have a great record, but it's like come playoff time, are they going to gel well? Is Mitchell going?
I think they will. That's the thing though. Like it's just. I really think Cleveland is a team to watch out for in the East this year, postseason wise. It's just that like their starting lineup has been together now for a couple years. Like they've gelled now. They have.
But do you really believe in Donovan Mitchell to take them all the way through? I like Donovan Mitchell, by the way. I think he's a good player.
Westchester native.
Do I think he can get them to the finals?
I mean,
I don't think so.
No. I don't know.
Also, the NBA is a league where you don't. I'm not betting on a team that's not proven until they prove it.
Yeah.
So like the Thunder, the Grizzlies, like can they do it this year? Sure.
No,
but I'm not going to bet on them.
Yeah,
Julius is not taking
over
my
a
money.
Nuggets or a Lakers
I
unless they've proven it.
I definitely don't think it's I definitely don't think it's one of those like you bet on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Absolutely not. Like if you're gonna bet on the Cleveland Cavaliers,
Also,
you're
like,
crazy.
yeah.
But here's my thing. Back to your Donovan Mitchell thing. I could 100% see him going on a D Wade. Like vintage D Wade 06 run.
I just haven't seen him
absolutely taking them.
I just haven't seen him do it.
I haven't seen him do it, and that's
Even when he
that's
was with
why
the
I'm not gonna
Jazz-
say he's gonna do it, but
Even
I
with
I could see Donovan Mitchell doing that though.
I could see it.
100%.
It's just like what Lunga said. It's
But
like if I
then
haven't
again,
seen it, I'm
yeah.
not going to pick it.
You got to look at the other side. It's like they haven't done it, and it's not something to bet on.
Yeah, their lineup's so good, but nobody's taking them against Boston. If you're comparing ones to ones and stuff, like
'cause their
Drew
players
Holiday,
don't strike
Darius
fear.
Garland, they're pretty comparable. Garland's obviously better offensively, but Drew Holiday wins rings. We all know this. Are you really taking Mitchell over a Tatum or a Brown right now? And this is coming from someone that doesn't like either Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, but Jaylen Brown just won Finals MVP. Tatum's good at basketball. And then you talk about the bigs too, like Mobley's their biggest difference maker.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley's incredible. But like it's
They just
Boston.
don't strike fear into your heart though. Like if you're going up against Darius Garland, are you thinking, man, we're gonna get cooked by Darius? Now he'll cook you, no
he
doubt
will.
about it. But you're not gonna sit in front of him in a defensive stance and think, oh man, this guy's gonna drop
There
30.
are people across freaking America who go into work or school or the club or wherever, and the thing on their mind is, holy fuck. My team has to play Braun tomorrow. We have to play Jokic tomorrow. We have to play the Celtics tomorrow. With the Cavs, like I don't see that. They don't install that.
Are you gonna
fear.
play Darius?
No.
Excuse me, Serena.
Serena.
Exactly. Like and
Serena.
that's the same thing with the Knicks and stuff because you're gonna hop in the court and Cat's gonna be taking the jump ball, going, "Hey, good luck." like, come on. Like they just don't install that same fear. Are we counting them out? I think the consensus is no because they're good and they're talented. But like
Definitely don't count them out.
I think they're the second best team in the East.
They just have to prove it.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, I tell you what, who should stall in some fear right now?
Detroit
There we go.
basketball.
There we go.
You know it.
There we go.
Straight. Seven
And-
straight.
And if I recall correctly, somebody in this room was talking some hot shit earlier in the year about Detroit basketball. Might be a guy in an Adidas sweatshirt over there.
Hey, just to clarify, he said he
Our-
did not
our
know
special
one player
guest.
in the Pistons.
Hey,
special
I'll
guest.
keep it a buck. I couldn't name one Piston on top of my head. But
My
I'm
glorious
gonna
Cade
say-
Cunningham.
Okay, I know who Cade Cunningham.
Okay.
That was a lie. Oklahoma State Cowboy.
For background
But-
context, this guy, he is a football guy, he is a hockey guy,
And baseball.
and a baseball guy.
He's not a hockey guy.
He's a little hockey guy.
bet on
No.
Canada.
No,
And I was right.
no, he's a hockey
So
guy.
watch yourself.
No, he's a hockey
Anyway, how sad is
guy. A
it?
guy in my book.
How sad is it? 7 in a row. Best winning streak in almost a decade.
Yo,
I'd
that's
be
sad.
ashamed.
Nice.
I'd be ashamed. And I don't think I would
That's
be like.
not what you focus on,
I
though,
don't.
with this.
I don't think that'd be
Lunga,
something I'd be
That
proud
is
of.
not. We're not
season
talking
of
about
almost
legacy
all time.
right
Are you a
here.
Colts fan?
And that's what I'm saying.
AR5 taking us to the
Stick
promised
to your
land.
mystery quarterback who you're gonna get somehow.
Hey, QB1 battle next year.
You don't.
With who?
Who knows?
Yeah,
Discount double check.
it's gonna be some
That's-
random guy you get off the street.
That's what I. That's the beauty in all
Brissett
of
again?
this, though.
Jacoby
What's the beauty?
Brissett, part 2.
Oh, give it to me, bro.
Is they're on this run, and it hasn't been done in so long, and it's finally a
He's lost for
It's a good page on the
Are you
book.
having a stroke?
No, it's a
I thought you had a stroke.
Do you have deep vein fibrosis, bro?
it's a
He got in his brain.
Guys, this is the battle of
it's a good page in the book.
Okay, but what did it take? 7 top 5 picks? 5? How many? How many are we talking? A lot of
No,
first round
so-
picks led to this. Trust the process, bro.
But that's the NBA.
Cade and Asar?
Yeah, that's what all happened there, bro. That's the NBA. The Celtics, Tatum, first rounder. Jaylen Brown, first rounder. The Cavs, Garland, first rounder. Mitchell, first rounder.
Yeah.
Like
Gotta have top picks
the
to win.
NBA.
You gotta have-
you gotta have top picks to win.
OKC.
They have like 98 first rounders.
Sam Presti is
They
hoarding
still
picks.
got
Also, like-
them coming.
Michigan sports in our lifetime have not been good. I'm sorry to break that to you guys, but guess what? I'm stating the most obvious thing in
Well,
the fucking sports world.
Professional.
No.
That's your take.
I was about to say professionally, yeah.
Professionally.
Take Mazar's
Professionally, yes. I was about to say.
Let them enjoy themselves.
There's a
bro.
couple rings in Ann Arbor.
Let them enjoy themselves because I know one fan base that's worse, and it's my New York sports teams. So let them
Oh, yeah,
enjoy
you
their
guys
little
aren't
winning
shit.
streaks. Yeah. 16 floors, may I remind
You guys aren't shit.
What you know about the early 2010s Detroit Tigers? With Miguel Cabrera?
hey,
What you know about
hey.
it?
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Go
What
Tigers.
you know about it?
Go Tigers.
Okay, we're getting off topic. We're getting
Getting
off
off
topic.
Max Scherzer, Verlander, elite.
Elite.
Detroit
Elite.
baseball.
Go.
Prince,
not what
Prince
Pablo
Feeder was a
Sandoval
goat.
said.
Prince Feeder was a goat.
Pretty tick.
But yeah, I'm just saying though, watch out for this Detroit Pistons. We're 6th place right now in the Eastern Conference. 6th place.
Bro, our
Motherfuckers
next
need to
two
watch
games are
out.
against the
You need to
Celtics
watch
and the
out.
Nuggets.
Let's just say my New York Knicks are in the 3 seed right now, and I am not afraid whatsoever of the Detroit Pistons.
And I tell you what, I am not
You better
afraid
be afraid of
whatsoever of the New York
Celtics,
Knicks.
The Cavs, who
I'm
we
absolutely
just
not
shat on
afraid of the New
Cavs,
York
and You
Knicks.
guys haven't won a single game.
I am not afraid of the New York Knicks going into the Garden. After what Kate just did in the Garden, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of the Knicks at all.
we weren't trying.
Oh, they weren't trying.
Sure.
Oh, you're gonna
You took
tell,
the game
you're gonna
off 'cause it
tell,
was the
you're gonna tell
Pistons?
Tom Thibodeau that he wasn't trying.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tom Thibodeau
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
trying to
Tom
play guys
Thibodeau
40
wasn't
minutes a night.
trying at basketball.
Just wait.
Oh,
Cat's leg is going to give
yeah,
out in Game
right.
3 of the second
Right,
round.
100%. Yeah,
Jalen Brunson's
Tom
arm's
Thibodeau
gonna
wasn't
give out again.
trying. Right. Then you got Cat over there. You got Cat over there. Pistons. Pistons. Oh my God, the Pistons.
All right, Pop. This is our friend Josh Felton. He runs a YouTube channel.
is
Go
Felt?
subscribe. I need a yes or no answer. Do the New York Knicks have a chance to win the title?
No.
Thank
Do the
you.
Cleveland Cavaliers have a chance to win the title?
Yes.
Yes.
Do the Detroit Pistons have a chance to win the title?
No.
Not this year.
Not this year.
So
Thank
that's
you,
what I'm
Josh.
saying.
Thank you.
Okay,
All right,
so
cool. You can do your thing.
development.
This is what I'm saying.
Development.
I did not say this all to say that we are going to win the NBA championship. No. I'm going to be 100%
Josh
real.
Felton, go subscribe.
You're not. That's not happening. As a Detroit fan, it's not happening. All right?
Who has a better chance to win the title? Michigan basketball or Detroit basketball?
Detroit.
What?
Oh no! What am I saying?
What?
Michigan.
Michigan,
No, no.
100%.
I don't know.
Come
guys,
on.
I just had an I just had an attack. No. Michigan.
get demonetized.
Yeah. No. We'll cut this part. It's Michigan.
Spectrum Sports over there. Okay. I think that's enough NBA basketball.
No more special guests.
Moving on.
He just said I had an attack.
All right, moving on to the NFL. Like pivoting over, yeah.
So I'm gonna go first because you knew if Aaron Rodgers
Go ahead,
came
Jets
up, I'd have to
fan.
do it.
Go ahead.
Jets fan. Covers them. I don't know. Like whatever I am. Depressed 22-year-old. He's gonna be a Steeler. I think he's gonna be a
A
Steeler.
Steeler.
I think it makes so much
They
sense.
keep hopping from quarterback. Just they need.
And also,
I'm gonna
like,
keep it a buck. I don't
guy-
know where the hell Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers is gonna go.
I think Aaron Rodgers was actually good last year. I think he was one of the least of the Jets' problems. There were times where he was not, but he still threw 28 touchdowns. He still had a QB rating over 90. The Jets lost 7 one-score games. And some of them were totally Rodgers' fault because he had the ball in his hands with a chance to win, and he didn't against Denver, didn't against Buffalo, didn't against Minnesota, but like New England, defense's fault. Indy, defense's fault. Arizona, defense's fault. I think Aaron Rodgers could have led them to 9 wins and stuff, but the Jets were a poorly coached team that couldn't stay off social media.
I'm gonna
That's
go
just
with
what they are.
I'm gonna go with Titans. I think they need a quarterback for at least a year. I think they're probably gonna draft either Abdul Carter or Travis. I don't think they're gonna draft a quarterback. I think they're gonna go get Aaron Rodgers for like a year or two, and then try and tank almost and try and get as many good players
Yeah,
as
I can see
possible,
that.
and then go try and get like Arch or something like that.
I can see that.
I still think it's much more likely that he just retires and doesn't even play another snap in the NFL.
Very true.
Because if Pittsburgh wants him, which I don't know if that'll want him. I think he would go to Pittsburgh, but like if it's between retiring and going to Tennessee, I just don't see him going to the Tennessee Titans.
But I just feel like he has the personality where he's like, if I want to keep playing, no matter where it is, I'm going to keep playing.
I think at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers wants to keep playing football.
Yeah.
And I don't see him retiring.
And if somebody's going to give him at least a tiny
I don't see him
Yeah,
retiring, but my thing is, who the hell wants him?
Guys, like, how many teams in the
Who
league
wants
do you
Aaron
think
Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers makes better? Like, I'm not going to answer it. Sure, genuinely, how many teams does Aaron
But do they
Rodgers make
want
better?
Aaron Rodgers to make them better, or do they want a tank?
That's
How many
fair.
does
goes
he
to
make
Nashville,
better?
How many teams does Aaron Rodgers, if you put him right now, he's better than the quarterback they have and makes him a better football team?
Not. It's all the teams that need a quarterback.
not many.
It's only the teams that need a quarterback that would want him. No
Yeah.
one who has a quarterback would.
Yeah,
Totally.
not many.
He's not, guys, he's not terrible.
The Vikings.
He's not
would need
terrible.
one.
He's not terrible. It's just like
He's too old.
it's like a
immobile.
1 year rental.
He's immobile. He's 40.
It's a
plus.
1 year rental.
I do think Pittsburgh makes the most sense if he's going to keep playing football.
I could see
think the
Pittsburgh.
Giants are going to go with Shador.
I could see Pittsburgh. It's just gonna
I don't
be
know.
weird.
I don't think if I'll see him in New York because I feel like the Giants are just going to draft a
I really
quarterback.
feel like no one's gonna
Yeah.
give him a contract, and Nashville's gonna be like, "Here, 1 year, $1 million," and he's gonna be like, "I get to play for another year, whatever, fine."
Yeah, that
Yeah.
team would suck.
Oh yeah, and they
Aaron
know,
Rodgers
and
the
they,
Titans.
and they
oh
know
my
that.
God, that team would be awful.
they're looking
That would
towards
be
Arch.
so nasty.
Oh, that'd be the worst
That'd
team
be
ever.
so
They're
nasty.
looking towards Arch.
That would
be
be the
so
worst
nasty.
team ever.
Who-
I might choose
who
Will
would've-
Levis over Aaron
Who would
Rodgers.
have thought? Who would have thought Aaron Rodgers going out like Brett Favre?
Whoa, wait a minute. Brett Favre had some good years after the Packers.
He did
though.
make the NFC Championship with the
Yeah,
Vikings.
he had some good years.
I'm just saying like it's just
Slowly
as much- funneling out,
I'm
and
not,
he's going to these
I am
random
not
fucking
defending
teams.
Brett Favre. Brett Favre, no offense, he's a scum of the earth for
no,
what
he did. Why the fuck did he throw that ball? In
Him and Brendan Lunga share.
Why did he throw that ball in the NFC Championship game?
But Brett Favre definitely.
I rebuke.
Brett Favre.
Oh.
Why did he throw that ball?
Brett Favre's got CTE.
Oh, I gotta
he's got all kinds of things in his brain. He's got
throw that
CTE
football,
for sure. That man's got all kinds of things. So.
Yeah, no, Brett Favre's fucked. No, I didn't mean it in terms of talent. I just in terms of just going to these random stops and it's just slowly funneling out.
That was the greatness of Tom Brady was that he had one bad year and he said, I'm done. Like he could have kept playing and teams would have kept taking him. But like you ruin your legacy the more you keep playing and you keep playing bad basketball. I think it was the same with MJ. I feel like
well, also his wife left him the year before, and he was like, he read the writing on the wall. He was like, my wife left me.
Plus Fox was coming in with a little $50 million bag. That helped too.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Nobody's taking Aaron Rodgers in the booth.
No.
even MJ, I feel like going to the Wizards hurt his legacy more than helped it. And I feel like these great players, they need to know when to stop and end on a high note. And that's what Peyton Manning did when he won Super Bowl 50 and said, I was done.
Yeah. He was a broken old man then.
Yeah, he was terrible that year. And like, I think Rodgers, he's gonna be. If a team wants me, I'll probably go. If not, I'll walk away. He also isn't he has such a high ego, but does he really care what people think his narrative is? No, he's gonna disappear once he retires.
If he gets a slap in the face offer, he's not going to take it, obviously, because he still has a lot of ego and pride. But I think that if somebody gives him a league minimum and says, hey, you'll be the starter this year, can't guarantee about next, we give you 1 year, I know you want to play, he'll probably be like, whatever, I'll come on down. And he's got the most power in the Titans. If he goes to the Titans, who's got the most power on that team? Who's their coach? The OC for
Brian Callahan.
Yeah,
Brian
Callahan has
Callahan.
no power. The GM has no power. Like he's the most powerful guy in that franchise. So
He carries a lot of baggage, and I think the floor for him is if someone says to him, you might not start the entire year, I think he has to start the entire year because Aaron Rodgers will not sit on the bench. He might say he will, but he won't.
no,
Yeah.
Absolutely won't. And
no,
so-
he'll be asked to be released.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, it's going to be interesting and stuff. Like, I thought that he should have stayed for 1 more year in New York, honestly. But we'll see what happens. I think Pittsburgh makes the most sense because Pittsburgh's not in a position to go draft a quarterback. They shouldn't sign someone long term. And I think that Rodgers with Mike Tomlin it makes sense.
No. I like it. I'm not mad at it.
All right, you want to get
It's
to
gonna
the
be
rest-
interesting.
You want to get to the rest real quick?
Yeah.
No, I was honestly just gonna skip the tweaker of the week.
Okay.
Unless
We want to do just quick. Everyone give your takes on where we think they're gonna go. Just quick takes.
Yeah, just rapid fire here. Debo.
That's really anywhere, to be honest.
It's an anywhere thing. I could see the Rams. I could see.
Yeah, he really could go anywhere.
I could see LA. For some weird reason, I can see Minnesota, and I don't know why.
Interesting.
I could see Minnesota though for some weird reason.
How about the New York Jets?
I can see him on the Commanders.
How about the New York Jets?
They had their chance.
Get rid of Devontae, bring in Debo.
I wouldn't hate it, but they had their chance. I'll say Washington.
I could see Washington too.
Yeah, I'll say Washington.
I think those are my 3, and Miami.
Ooh. Miami would be interesting, especially with Tyreek. Whatever happens
with
there.
Tyreek. Yeah, whatever happens. I like Miami too. So like those. Anybody else? We all agree on that.
I think the Colts could be interesting, but they never. No, I'm serious. They never trade. But
For real?
we need a receiver. So Chris Ballard, fire Chris Ballard.
I'll tell you what, baby.
You have Jewish God Adonai Mitchell.
I'm gonna keep it to you real right now. Debo ain't going to Indianapolis, bro.
Until Michael Pittman is no longer our wide receiver 1, we will continue to be the bottom barrel of the AFC.
Yeah.
One more place I see, and I'm sorry, Dallas. I could see Dallas. They don't have a wideout too.
I could see Dallas too.
I could see Dallas so easily.
I actually forgot about Dallas.
Jerry saying I don't want to pay
I could
him.
see Dallas before
I could see
Minnesota. I could see Dallas before. I said what, Minnesota too. I could see Dallas way before Minnesota.
What about Green Bay?
Minnesota's just a stretch for me.
No, not Green Bay.
I don't see him going to Green Bay.
No. I think they're going to keep that young core together. And
Yeah.
I got one more. Denver.
No.
He did say that Denver was looking good. I don't think they're going to pick him up.
No. I don't see him going to Denver.
Kansas City? No.
No.
I let me cut myself off.
Yeah, you picking every team in the league. You say
I'm about to
Lions
say, yeah,
next.
fuck
Fine, I'm just gonna. I'll say Dallas and Washington. Those are my 2.
All right.
Yeah. I like
Cooper Kupp?
Miami. Yep, Cooper Kupp.
Baltimore.
No. I don't
I
see
could actually see Debo going to Baltimore. Fuck Debo
I
though.
could see Debo in Baltimore.
We moved on, bro.
Moving on. Debo can go anywhere. Yeah, Cooper Kupp. Who you said?
Baltimore.
You really think Baltimore?
or New England? I think New England's number
New
one
England.
option is
I like
T.
New
Higgins.
England.
If the Bengals lose out on T. Higgins, I think T. Higgins will end up in New England. But I see there. They have draft picks. They'll make a trade. They clearly
I
need
like
a
New
wideout.
England. I could see Cooper going to Denver. I could see Cooper in Denver.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw one out there, just a random one. If T's gone, I'm going to say Bengals.
Cincinnati is not bad either.
If they get rid of,
Cincinnati's not bad
they
either.
let T walk, I think they're going to make.
What about he just stays in the same city? LA Chargers.
Yeah, that was.
They
Yeah,
need
I actually like that
they need a
one,
wide
too.
receiver one, too.
yeah, that's a good one.
That's interesting. Those are all good ones. Myles Garrett. Last one.
They said
here.
they weren't even going to trade him. So I don't know.
I was about to say Barry just came on, talked at the combine yesterday.
I don't
and
buy it.
Said that they're not trading him. I don't know.
I don't buy it. I'm gonna.
Just
I'm
let
just
him
gonna
leave.
swing. I'm gonna swing for the fences. I think he's gonna end up in Detroit.
Detroit or Philly?
I think Detroit.
I don't think it's going to be Detroit. I think Holmes said they don't have enough to trade for him. I don't know if it's going to be Detroit.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be
Do you
traded.
want to trade for him? I'm like, I would. I'd rather just go get somebody in the draft, but me personally.
I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to stay.
You think stay Cleveland?
I think so.
I think it's Detroit or Philly.
How about Washington? They need some stuff on the defensive.
Yeah, I can see that.
I could see that.
I could see Washington.
Washington gets a little bit better help on the defense. They're a force to be reckoned with.
I can see that. All right, moving on. Last of the day, our favorite segment, fan favorite, Tweaker of the Week. I think Jake took the reins, took the crown last week.
Oh boy.
But it is a new week,
Hey, who's my tweaker?
We can let the
and
special guest start.
that's what I was going to give it the floor to, Lunga, special
Appreciate
guest.
y'all. And y'all knew this was coming. It's not you, Jake, actually. Tweaker of the Week is anyone who is not a NASCAR fan.
Oh my.
If you are
gosh,
not
bro.
locked in on NASCAR,
This dude, bro.
if you are not locked in
Why
on
do I
NASCAR,
wanna-
you've missed 2 races.
Why do I
Well,
want to
we're
watch
gonna be
cars
putting this episode
drive
in
in
the
a
vault.
circle, bro?
They are in Austin, Texas on Sunday, green flag around 3 p.m. Eastern.
If I don't watch cars drive in a circle, I'll just Go to the nearest roundabout, bro.
Go watch some NASCAR. Your life will be changed. Just crack open a brewski. That's all you need to crack open a brewski Sunday afternoon.
Gosh.
Listen, watch some NASCAR. And your life will be changed, I promise you. And if you're not, you are a tweaker, and you are a tweaker of the week.
I'd literally I'd rather watch paint dry.
Oh, okay. I know who my tweaker of the week is.
You just took it. You
I was
just
about
took
to-
mine. Fuck you.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. No, you got it.
I was gonna say Ben Johnson. That was a perfect one. He just opened up Twitter.
I have another one, so I'm good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ben Johnson. He basically has been at the combine making his rounds with interviews saying how he hasn't been playing with a quarterback that's athletic and it's his first time and you need that. And he's been slighting Jared Goff. So when we see you twice next year, Ben Johnson, I don't want to see no tears in your eyes when we curb stomp you and leave you broken. Man, I can't wait to curb stomp the Bears. Oh my goodness.
stuff to
Hector, if you're watching this, because I know you are, we're gonna curb stop you twice a year, and I'm gonna call you, Hector. I'm gonna call you and be like, yeah, you like that curb stomping? Ben Johnson, you're my tweaker of the week. Listen, I'm not cussing on this podcast. You know the words I would be saying to him.
But let's be clear. Aaron Rodgers has better pocket mobility than Jared Goff does. Let's make that clear.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't hate that.
I mean,
don't
a
hate
toddler
that.
could outrun Jared Goff.
I don't hate that.
Jared Goff runs an 8 flat in a 40.
I think Chris could outrun him, dude.
I don't hate that.
Probably.
I don't hate that.
I would
at
take
all.
that.
Me?
Yeah, or I could go, but you go first. I feel like I'll go last. Yeah.
All right. My tweaker of the week is Rashad McCants. Shout out
Boogie.
Shout out Boogie Cousins. Shout out Gilbert Arenas podcast.
Oh my freaking god, that is hilarious.
He's always tweaking. He's always tweaking.
Rashad McCants. Boogie Cousins
I was gonna go
basically
up to
shut him down.
25.
I was going to go up to 25 points per game. Rashad McCants?
You're not Norman Powell, buddy. Even Norman Powell's not like that.
Come on. Rashad McCant get buckets.
You heard what he said? I don't know. He in the podcast they were talking about stuff. He was like talking about his time in Minnesota, and he said I averaged 15 off the bench in 26 minutes, and he said the next year I was supposed to make a jump to 25. Boogie Cousins was on the other end. He said Rashad. He said I played you in Minnesota. He said.
Nah, bro.
He said nah.
He said nah,
You're not
bro.
like that.
He said, check yourself.
Nah, bro. KJ Martin was there. He was like laughing in his face. Like it was just all bad. Rashad McCants is a
remember what he said about Denver
D1
in overseas?
capper.
Have you seen that? He's like anybody in overseas could beat the Nuggets, and they're like, stop it. And he's like, name your team overseas. He's like, Commitment. He's like, you think a Commitment would beat the Nuggets? Right? He said, yeah. He said, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, no, my tweaker of the week is Rashad McCants, man. Rashad McCant get buckets.
Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner. Absolutely. You see how they're changing the Yankees culture
like it.
because
I like it.
There we
because
go.
they lost Juan Soto, the
There we
beard
go.
policy,
I
not
like
playing
it.
New York.
There we go.
Bunch of
Get rid of
other things. Cope harder, Yankee fans.
Get rid of that trash
Cope
policy.
harder. And Yankees fans, just to put it in perspective really fast, like, you didn't only lose a generational player in Juan Soto, you lost him to... Oh, I was just gonna let this play for 1 more second.
He's not even on the team anymore.
Oh my god. You lost them to your rivals. Keep changing that culture, Yankee
Detroit
fans.
Tigers
Keep changing
legend.
that culture. See how that goes.
Detroit Tigers legend Jose
Cope harder.
Iglesias.
Huh?
It's the Detroit Tigers legend Jose Iglesias.
Yeah.
I think our future president, Stephen A. Smith, put it best.
He's the tweaker of the week.
I think he put it best when he's like, why are the Yankees a month out from the season having a full hour press conference about being able to have beards on the team? And this
Yeah.
is why Stephen A. Smith has my vote, 2028.
One more thing. Last thing I'll say, because I know we got to get out of here. Yankees fans are just like mad at Soto and saying Soto is cheap for buying Brett Beatty a car because he changed his number. You guys gave Michael Kay, after 36 years, an 80-inch flat screen TV.
That's crazy.
And you're going to say
Insane.
Soto's car is cheap? One, it's $90,000. So how many flat screen TVs is that? Anyway, see you in May. Subway Series. Mets run New York.
I also an honorary tweaker of the week, Stephen A. Smith, for saying that the NBA couldn't have the face of the league be overseas player. He said American players only can be the face of the league. All right, buddy, you said the same thing about Shohei Ohtani, and Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player that has walked the earth in a while. So
Not true, but we won't get into that.
That is all we have today. We are logging off, chat. As always, run up socials, TikTok, Instagram. Of course, we will get more clips up as new episodes drop. And yes, comment your favorite tweaker of the week. Comment your own tweaker of the week.
Thank you, Brandon. For
Thank
coming
you
on.
to Lunga, our special guest today.
It was truly the honor of a lifetime. Thank you guys so
sir,
much.
first special guest of the pod.
First special guest of the pod, former Tar Heel right here, current Wildcat of Northwestern. What is it, like a New Orleans?
What is that? The Bears? The Bears?
Shout out Mike Greenberg.
Shout out
Mike Greenberg.
Shout out Greeny, man. Shout out Greeny.
I watch Get Up every morning. Shout out you, Greeny.
Shout out Greeny. But yeah, as always, run it up, like, subscribe, comment. As always, stay fly, and yeah, we out.
Thank you.